Before the Premier League, before billion-pound broadcasting deals and billionaire owners, English football had one last champion of the old world, and it wasn't Manchester United, Arsenal, or Liverpool, it was Leeds United. In the 1991-92 season, Howard Wilkinson's side stormed to the First Division title, finishing above Alex Ferguson's Manchester United and bringing the league trophy back to Elland Road for the first time since 1974. It was a team built on steel and structure, a mix of experienced pros, breakout stars, and one of the greatest midfield pairings English football has ever seen. But while Leeds were the last champions of the Football League era, they were also the first to be somewhat forgotten in the Premier League age. They lifted the trophy just months before everything changed: the branding, the money, the culture. And with that shift, their triumphs slowly faded from the mainstream memory. Today, on Retro Football Club, we're bringing it back. We're going to revisit every player from that title-winning squad. What happened to them after that historic season, and where they are now. From legends like Gordon Strachen and Gary McAllister, to cult names like Rod Wallace and Mel Sterland. This is the story of the last champions before the Premier League, and the paths they took after the celebrations ended. Just for context, and also so this video doesn't go on forever, anyone who played fewer than 5 league games will be summarized briefly at the end. A steady, commanding presence in goal, John Lukic played every league game during Leeds United's title-winning campaign, conceding just 37 goals all season. Having rejoined the club from Arsenal in 1990, he brought vital experience and calm behind a rugged back four, proving a key figure in their success. Lukic had previously won the league with Arsenal in 1989 before returning to Leeds for a second spell. He remained first-choice keeper for several seasons until being replaced by Nigel Martyn. In 1996, he went back to Arsenal as a backup to David Seaman, eventually staying on as third-choice keeper until as late as 2001. Upon retiring, he had enjoyed a remarkable career that spanned over 4 decades, with his final Leeds numbers registering at 431 appearances in all competitions, beginning all the way back in 1978. Since retiring, Lukic has kept a low profile. He has worked as a freelance goalkeeping coach and has occasionally dabbled in media and charity work, always held in high regard at both Elland Road and Highbury. His son, John Lukic Jr., briefly played for Nottingham Forest and Grimsby Town in the mid-2000s. Quick, intelligent, and reliable, Tony Duriggo was a key part of Leeds United's title-winning back four. Signed from Chelsea in 1991, his overlapping runs and pinpoint delivery made him a threat going forward, while his defensive discipline suited Howard Wilkinson's no-nonsense system perfectly. He was named the Leeds United Player of the Year in that championship season. Duriggo remained at Leeds until 1997, making over 170 appearances in total. After leaving Elland Road, he had spells with Torino, Derby County, and finally Stoke City, before retiring in 2001. He also earned 15 caps for England, including appearances at Euro '88 and the 1990 World Cup. Since retirement, Duriggo has become a TV and radio pundit, working for ITV, Al Jazeera, Channel 5, and LUTV. He also writes columns and is a regular voice on Leeds United coverage, offering sharp analysis and remaining a popular figure with the Elland Road faithful. Chris Fairclough was one half of Leeds United's formidable centre-back pairing, alongside Chris White during the title run. Calm, athletic and dependable, Fairclough played 39 of the 42 league games that season, forming the backbone of the league's best home defensive record. Signed from Tottenham Hotspur in 1989, he had already been named Leeds' Player of the Year in 1990 and remained at Elland Road until 1995, leaving after 189 league appearances and an impressive 21 goals. Leaving Leeds, he had spells with Bolton Wanderers, Notts County, and York City, bringing his wealth of top-flight experience to each. Post-retirement, Fairclough moved into coaching, working with Nottingham Forest's academy setup, and also spending time on the youth development side at Charlton Athletic. He's largely kept a low media profile, but has given a number of online interviews in recent years about his time at the club. Known for his powerful runs, fierce tackling, and even fiercer shot, Mel Sterland was Leeds United's first-choice right-back for much of the 1991-92 title-winning season. Nicknamed Zico by teammates, he was a fan favorite, a tough, charismatic defender who offered attacking threat from deep. Sterland made 31 league appearances that season, playing a major role in the team's success. Previously a title winner with Rangers under Graham Souness, Sterland had joined Leeds in 1989 and had previously had a stint with Sheffield Wednesday, where he made over 300 appearances. Unfortunately, a recurring ankle injury forced him to retire prematurely in 1994, with his closing Leeds numbers registering 16 goals over 114 league appearances. After initially hanging up his boots, Sterland did pull them on again occasionally whilst player-manager of Boston United, before a spell as a player once again with non-league Derby United. His last managerial post was with Stalybridge Celtic in the late 90s, and since, he has stayed out of the spotlight. He's remained close to the game through Leeds Legends matches, charity appearances, and media features, and in later years opened up about his mental health struggles and recovery in his book, earning admiration from fans for his honesty. A key figure in Leeds United's title-winning defence, Chris White formed a rock-solid partnership with Chris Fairclough throughout the campaign. Strong in the air, composed on the ball, and tactically sharp, White started all 42 league games, one of only 3 players to do so, a testament to his reliability. White had previously played for Arsenal, winning the league title in 1980-81. Howard Wilkinson signed him in 1990 from West Brom, and his calm presence at the back became a cornerstone of the Leeds defence. In total, he made 115 league appearances, scoring 3 goals before leaving Elland Road in 1993. White went on to have a nomadic career afterwards, turning out for Birmingham City, Coventry City, West Ham United, Charlton Athletic, Leyton Orient, Rushden and Diamonds, and Harlow Town, with brief spells in the United States, with Raleigh Express, and in Finland, with HYPS. He also played indoor soccer for Detroit Neon and Detroit Safari, retiring eventually from all playing in 2000. Post-retirement, White stepped away from the spotlight. Though he's appeared at Leeds Legends events in the past, he reportedly worked for Tesco in their accounts department. John Nuome was just 21 during Leeds United's title-winning campaign, but he played with the confidence of a seasoned pro. He made 10 league appearances, including starting in the decisive win that secured the title, a vital contribution at a crucial moment. Nuome began his career at Sheffield Wednesday before joining Leeds in 1991. He left Leeds in 1994, after 76 league appearances and 3 goals before moving to Norwich City for a then-club record fee. At Carrow Road, he became captain and was the 1995 Player of the Year. He later returned to Sheffield Wednesday, but recurring injuries forced him to retire from professional football in 2000, following a brief loan with Bolton Wanderers. Since retiring, Nuome worked as a scout for Grimsby Town before opening and running his own car dealership business. He has since worked as a football agent and radio co-commentator on BBC Radio Leeds. Mike Whitlow was a dependable squad option during Leeds United's title-winning season, making 10 league appearances, mostly as cover for Tony Duriggo, at left-back. A hard-working, no-frills defender, he played an important supporting role throughout the campaign. Whitlow had joined Leeds from non-league Witton Albion in 1988, and was part of the squad that won promotion to the First Division in 1990. Shortly before the season ended, he transferred to Leicester City, where he enjoyed the most prominent spell of his career, helping the Foxes earn promotion and featuring regularly in the Premier League. He later played for Bolton Wanderers, Sheffield United and Notts County, retiring in 2007. Whilst a Leeds player, he chalked up 77 appearances and 7 goals. After hanging up his boots, Whitlow moved into coaching, working in Derby County, Notts County, and Burton Albion's academies, and later taking interim charge of the latter's first team in 2014. He is currently the head coach of Mansfield Town's under-18 team. Veteran centre-back John Mlelen brought experience and composure to Leeds United's title-winning squad, making 18 league appearances during the season. Though not a regular starter, his presence provided vital cover and leadership when called upon. Mlelen had already enjoyed a long career with clubs including Rangers and Watford, and was a key figure for Northern Ireland, earning 53 caps and featuring at both the 1982 and 1986 World Cups. He only played 24 times in the league during his Leeds career, leaving to take over as player-manager of St Johnstone in 1992. It was a short-lived managerial career, and after leaving a year later, he continued playing for Arbroath, Carrick Rangers, Wycombe Wanderers, Yeovil Town and Darlington, before retiring in 1997. Upon hanging his boots up, he returned to West Yorkshire, working for Leeds United as a stadium guide, but now reportedly works as a postman in the Wakefield area. David Batty was the heartbeat of Leeds United's midfield in their title-winning season. Tough, tireless, and utterly dependable, he made 40 league appearances, anchoring the midfield with his relentless tackling and simple, effective distribution. A Leeds Academy graduate, Batty was the definition of a classic English no-nonsense midfielder. In 1993, he was sold to Blackburn Rovers, where he won the Premier League in 1994-95. He later played for Newcastle United, helping them to second-place finishes and an FA Cup final, before returning to Leeds in 1998 and playing in their Champions League run under David O'Leary. He retired in 2004 with over 40 England caps, featuring at the '98 World Cup. His final Leeds totals were 301 appearances and 4 goals in the league. Since retiring, Batty has completely stepped away from football. No punditry, no coaching, no interviews, and no public appearances. That silence has only added to his cult status. A number of his ex-teammates have fueled the speculation that Batty never really cared for football and saw it as a job, not a passion. He is arguably one of the highest profile names in football to simply just walk away into the sunset and never look back. What we do know is he lives a quiet family life in Yorkshire. Gary McAllister was the creative heartbeat of Leeds United's title-winning midfield. Calm under pressure and effortlessly intelligent on the ball, he played all 42 league games in the season, and forming one of the best midfield units English football has seen. Alongside the talents of Strachen, Batty and Speed. After 5 years at Leeds, which incorporated 231 league appearances and 31 goals, McAllister moved to Coventry City in 1996. But his most surprising success came at Liverpool, where he joined at age 35 and played a key role in their 2001 treble-winning season, scoring crucial goals in Europe and the league. McAllister moved back to Coventry in 2002 as player manager, and later returned to Leeds as a first-team coach in 2008. He has since served as assistant manager at Middlesbrough under Gordon Strachen, before a spell at Liverpool with Brendan Rodgers. In later years he has worked at Rangers and Aston Villa as Steven Gerrard's assistant, but hasn't held a coaching role since the pair departed in 2022. Gary Speed was only 22 during Leeds United's title-winning season, but he already played with the maturity of a seasoned pro. And ever present in the side, he made 41 league appearances, offering energy, aerial threat, and attacking drive from midfield. A Leeds Academy product, Speed was the complete modern midfielder, box-to-box, intelligent, and consistent. Speed made 248 league appearances, scoring 38 goals before leaving Leeds in 1996. He enjoyed long and successful spells with Everton, Newcastle United, Bolton Wanderers and Sheffield United, eventually making over 850 career appearances and earning 85 caps for Wales, many as captain. Following retirement, Speed moved into management, taking charge of Sheffield United and later the Wales national team, where he began laying the foundations for their future success. Tragically, he passed away in 2011, aged just 42. A loss felt deeply across the football world. To Leeds fans, Gary Speed remains one of the club's finest homegrown players, and to football as a whole, he's remembered with immense respect and affection. A player, captain, and man of the very highest caliber. At 34, Gordon Strachen captained the club to the First Division title with a mix of relentless energy, sharp intelligence and fierce leadership. He played 36 league games and was the glue that held the team together, a driving force both on the pitch and in the dressing room. Signed from Manchester United in 1989, many saw his move to Leeds as a step down. Instead, he helped win promotion and then led the club to the final top-flight title before the Premier League era began, becoming the oldest captain to lift the English League trophy at the time. After leaving Leeds in 1995, he had made 197 league appearances and 37 goals. He then became player coach, then manager at Coventry City, and later managed Southampton, Celtic, Middlesbrough, and the Scotland national team. He's also worked as a pundit and executive, including a technical director role at Dundee, a position he still holds today. Steve Hodge was an experienced squad option during Leeds United's title-winning campaign, making 23 league appearances during the season. A tidy, technically gifted midfielder, he provided valuable depth and know-how behind the club's star-studded central trio of Strachen, Mallister, and Batty. Before arriving at Leeds, Hodge had played for Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, and Tottenham Hotspur, and earned 24 England caps, including appearances at the 1986 and 1990 World Cups. He's best known internationally for swapping shirts with Diego Maradona after the infamous Hand of God match in Mexico. Hodge played 54 times for Leeds, scoring 10 goals between 1991 and 1994. After a loan at Derby County, he finished his final 4 seasons with Queen's Park Rangers, Watford and Leyton Orient. Post-retirement, Hodge moved into youth coaching at Chesterfield and Notts County, becoming caretaker first-team manager of the latter in 2013. In 2022, he made headlines when he sold Maradona's shirt at auction for over £7 million, so no doubt his retirement is looking really rosy. Rod Wallace was a vital part of Leeds United's title-winning attack. Quick, clever and clinical, he made 40 league appearances and scored 11 goals, offering the perfect balance to Lee Chapman's aerial presence with his pace and movement in behind. His link-up play and work rate often went under the radar, but he was one of the unsung heroes of that season. Signed from Southampton in 1991, Wallace quickly settled at Elland Road and became a consistent performer across multiple seasons. He remained at the club until 1998, playing 212 league games, scoring 53 goals before moving to Rangers, where he won 5 trophies including 3 Scottish League titles. He scored in both the Scottish Cup and League Cup finals and became a fan favourite in Glasgow. Wallace later played for Bolton Wanderers and Gillingham before retiring in 2004. Following retirement, he's briefly coached at youth level for non-league sides Kingstonian, Molesley and Epsom and Ewell. He is now the co-founder of the Phoenix Sports and Media Group, a company that supports former professional players and academy graduates. French striker Eric Cantona's time at Leeds United was short, but unforgettable. Arriving from Nimes in early 1992, he made 15 league appearances during the title-winning campaign, scoring 3 goals. His flair, technique and arrogance gave Leeds a different attacking dimension and hinted at something greater. He scored a hat-trick in the '93 Charity Shield, but just months later, Cantona was sensationally sold to bitter rivals Manchester United for just £1.2 million. Departing Leeds after netting 9 goals in 28 games, it was a sliding doors moment in English football. At Old Trafford, he became a legend, winning 4 Premier League titles, 2 FA Cups, and playing a pivotal role in transforming Alex Ferguson's side into serial winners. Cantona retired early, in 1997 at just 30, to pursue acting, directing, and the arts. He's appeared in films, theatre, commercials, and remains a cultural icon, known for his charisma, philosophy, and mystique as much as his football. In recent months, he has become a co-owner of FC United of Manchester, and has been vocal in his criticism of Manchester United's current ownership of both the Glazers and Jim Ratcliffe. Lee Chapman was Leeds United's leading goalscorer in their title-winning season, netting 16 league goals in 34 appearances. Towering, tough, and lethal in the air, Chapman was the classic target man, the ideal focal point for a side built on structure and service. His link-up with Rod Wallace gave Leeds one of the most balanced strike partnerships in the league. Signed from Nottingham Forest in 1990, Chapman had also previously played for the likes of Stoke City, Sheffield Wednesday, Arsenal and Sunderland. At Leeds, he hit some of the best form of his career, scoring consistently over multiple seasons and playing a pivotal role in title-winning campaigns. Chapman played 137 times in the league, scoring 62 goals upon departure. He left Elland Road in 1993 and had spells with Portsmouth, West Ham United, Southend United, Ipswich Town, and Swansea City, before retiring with Strømsgodset in Norway in 1996. Post-retirement, Chapman moved into hospitality and property, running a number of restaurants and bars alongside his wife, actress Leslie Ash. Carl Shutt was a fringe player at Elland Road but was always ready to contribute. He made 14 league appearances, often coming off the bench to inject energy and chase down defenders late in games. Signed by Howard Wilkinson from Bristol City in 1989, Shutt had previously played under him at Sheffield Wednesday. While never a guaranteed starter, he was a renowned grafter. He later scored the winner in Leeds' European Cup win over Stuttgart in 1992, one of the most iconic moments of his career. After leaving Leeds in 1993, he had chalked up 17 goals in 79 league appearances. He went on to have spells with Birmingham City, Manchester City, Bradford City, and Darlington. He later had several player-manager roles with both Kettering Town and Bradford Park Avenue, eventually ending both his playing and managerial career in 2005. He has since held a number of jobs away from football, including working for a travel agency whilst residing in Sheffield. So, moving on to other members of the Leeds United squad that season. Not everyone hit the 5-appearance mark, but plenty of others played their part, whether it was the odd cameo appearance, in training, in the dressing room, all involved in the push to keep the club at the top. Here's a more brief look at where those players went next. Mervyn Day, the veteran backup goalkeeper, remained at Elland Road until 1993. He retired with Carlisle United the following season, and later became their manager. He later worked as assistant manager under Alan Kirbishley at Charlton Athletic and West Ham United, before moving into scouting and recruitment, notably back at Elland Road, with Leeds United, and more recently, with West Brom. Moving on, Paul Pettinger was a young keeper who failed to make an appearance before leaving in 1996. He played in the Football League between 1996 and 2003, notably for Rotherham United and Lincoln City. He went on to have a nomadic spell as a non-league player, before retiring in 2010 with Sheffield FC. He is currently the goalkeeping coach at Cleethorpes Town. Then we come to Rob Bowman, a promising young defender, who made his senior debut for Leeds but couldn't break into the first team long term. He remained at Elland Road until 1997, but only played 7 games in the league. He later played for Rotherham United, Carlisle United and Bohemians, before a lengthy career in non-league football that lasted until the mid-2000s. He now works away from the sport and resides in the northeast. Dylan Kerr had a longer playing career elsewhere, leaving Leeds in 1993 and turning out for the likes of Reading, Kilmarnock and Exeter City. He later moved into management across Africa. He's coached in the likes of South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya and Swaziland, and remains active in international coaching roles. He was last in charge of South African side Marumo Gallants in 2024. Then we come to Ray Wallace, brother of Rod Wallace. Like his brother, he joined Leeds from Southampton but made only a handful of appearances. He went on to play for the likes of Stoke City, Hull City and Airdrieonians, retiring in 2002 with Whitton Albion. Sadly, he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which effectively ended his career. He now works away from the sport and resides in Manchester. David Weatherall would go on to become a mainstay at Leeds United and Bradford City, playing over 500 games combined and famously scoring the goal that kept the Bantams in the Premier League in 2000. He later moved into academy management and youth development, although, whilst at Bradford he had 2 spells as caretaker first-team manager. He is currently employed by Huddersfield Town as the academy strategic advisor. Moving on to Gary Kelly, who went on to become an out-and-out club legend, although only on the fringes in 1992. He would go on to become a mainstay well into the following decade, making over 500 appearances and spending his entire career at the club before retiring in 2007. He also represented Republic of Ireland at 2 World Cups. He's now retired from public life and focuses on charity work, including running a cancer support centre back in Ireland. Another well-known name in English footballing circles is Simon Grayson. He had a long playing career after Leeds, where he only played 2 games. He went on to have a respectable career with the likes of Leicester City, Aston Villa, Blackburn Rovers and Blackpool. He has since made a name for himself as a manager for Blackpool before turning to Leeds between 2008 and 2012. He has since managed Huddersfield Town, Preston North End, Sunderland, Bradford City, and Fleetwood Town. He is currently in charge of Indian side, Latipur City. Then we have one of the most well-known football personalities in the UK. Chris Kamara was in the latter stages of his playing career in 1992. He went on to play for Luton Town, Sheffield United and Middlesbrough, retiring in 1995. After retirement, he managed Bradford City and Stoke City. but truly became a household name as a beloved entertaining pundit. On Sky Sports Soccer Saturday, which paved the way for a career in television that has gone beyond the sport. Glyn Snodin, a reliable veteran utility player, left Elland Road at the end of the season. He carried on playing until 1998, for Hearts, Barnsley, and non-league club Gainsborough Trinity. He has had a nomadic career as a coach or assistant manager, working for clubs such as Carlisle United, Doncaster Rovers, Charlton Athletic, Southampton, West Ham United, then back to Leeds United in 2009. He has also coached for the Northern Ireland national team, as well as Sunderland, Preston North End, Bradford City, and most recently, Chesterfield. Mark Tinkler was one of Leeds' brightest young stars and would remain with the club until 1997. However, his time at the club was marred by injury. He went on to have a solid career in the Football League with York City, Southend United, and Hartlepool United. He is currently Michael Carrick's assistant manager at Middlesbrough. Moving on to Andy Williams, he was a fringe attacking midfield option, who subsequently departed in 1992. He would play more regularly for Notts County, Rotherham United, and Hull City, before stepping away from professional football in 1996. He has worked away from the sport, and has worked as a performance manager for a company linked to Rotherham Council. A player many forget pulled on the famous white shirt was Tony Agana, a strong and athletic forward, who had made his name at Sheffield United. He was loaned from Notts County during the campaign, and made several appearances. He returned to his parent club, and remained with them until 1997, later playing for the likes of Hereford United and Cliftonville, retiring in 2002 at Alfreton Town. He went on to manage non-league clubs Leek Town and Guiseley, but now works at Wingfield Academy in Rotherham, as a technology support staff member. Another big-name player coming to the end of his powers was Imre Varadi. The veteran striker was nearing the end of his career in 1992, having already played for Sheffield Wednesday, Manchester City and Newcastle. He left in 1993, and went on to play for the likes of Rotherham United, Mansfield Town and Scunthorpe United, retiring in 1998 with Stalybridge Celtic. He managed Matlock Town, before working as a football agent, and has worked as a pundit for BBC Radio Sheffield. Next up was Bobby Davison, a prolific goalscorer. Earlier in his career, he spent time on loan in the season, and subsequently departed at the climax of the campaign. He went on to play for the likes of Leicester City, Sheffield United, Rotherham United and Halifax Town, retiring in 2000 with Guiseley. He later moved into coaching, including a spell managing in Hungary with Ferencváros, and has stayed active in football development. He's most recently been a youth team coach at Crystal Palace. And finally, Noel Whelan, a highly rated academy product who was around the fringes, but didn't make his debut until the following season. Eventually leaving in 1995, he went on to play for the likes of Coventry City, Middlesbrough and Aberdeen amongst others, retiring in 2010 at Darlington. Today, he's a passionate Leeds United matchday commentator, bringing energy and emotion to BBC Radio Leeds broadcasts. Thanks for watching. If you are a fan of retro football, then please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more weekly like-minded content. We've been Retro Football Club. Thanks, ciao, see you next time.